ಹಲೋ
ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಅಲ್ಲ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾಮ್ರಾ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಿರರ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಸೆಟ್ಟಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಹೋಗಿ ಮಿರರ್ ರಿಫ್ಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಫೋನ್ ಇರೋದಕ್ಕೆ
विद्या ददाति विनयं विनयाद्याति पात्रतां पात्रत्वद्धनमाप्नोति धनात्तर्मत तत्सुखम्, which means knowledge gives us discipline, worthiness comes from discipline, wealth comes from worthiness, good deeds is result of wealth, and by doing good deeds we get happiness. By quoting this beautiful word, I would like to welcome you all for the Day-2 National Level Faculty Development Program on 10x AI Research Acceleration and Revolution, Scope and Future Ahead. Today, we will going to have an eminent personality with us, Dr. D.P.K. Muthukumaraswamy. And now I would like to welcome Professor Pratiksha to give introduction about our speaker.
Good morning everyone. It is my privilege to introduce our distinguished speaker, Dr. D.P.K. Muthukumaraswamy, CEO of Kritidev. Dr. Muthukumaraswamy holds a master degree in engineering design from Anna University, a PhD from Indian Institute of Science, Bengaluru, with more than 2 decades of experience in the automotive, aerospace and deep tech sectors. He is an accomplished expert in innovation management, project development, design thinking and technology commercialization. He has worked with prestigious organizations such as IISc, ADA, Bosch, Siemens Video and Continental Automotive. A successful entrepreneur and startup mentor, he holds multiple patents and inventions disclosure and has received the Continental Automotive Gold Award for Innovation. He actively mentors technology, startups and contributes to several innovation and entrepreneurship initiatives across Karnataka. Today, he will deliver a session on research responsibilities in the age of AI, addressing plagiarism, academic integrity, and research transparency issues. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Dr. D.P.K. Muthukumaraswamy. Welcome, sir. We are delighted to have you with us. This stage is yours.
ಸೌಂಡ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಏನು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಮೈಕಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾನಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡು ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅದು 2 ಮಿನಿಟ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಇರ್ತದೆ ಲೈವ್ ಹೋಗ್ತದೆ ಈ ಲೈಫ್ ಕೊಡೋದು ಅದು ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ವಾಯ್ಸ್ ಕೇಳುತ್ತೆ ಮಾತಾಡಲಿ. ಹಲೋ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಲೈಟ್ ಅದು ಕ್ಲೀನ್ ಹೋಗಿದೆ. ಏನು ಸರ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸರ್ ಕನೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಕೊಡೋದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸರ್ ಹಾಂ ಅಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ಸರ್ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಇಟ್ಟು ಮಾಡಿ ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಏನಾಗಿತ್ತು ನೋಡು. ಇವತ್ತು ಬೇರೆ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಹಾಂ ಅದು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಲ್ಲ ಲೋ ವರುಣ್ ಅದು ರೂಟರ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗ್ತೈತಾ? ರೂಟರ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗ್ತೈತಾ ನೋಡು ರೂಟರ್ ಮಗ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಇರು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಲ್ಯಾಬಲ್ ಸ್ವಿಚ್ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಸ್ವಿಚ್ ಬೇಡ, ಇದು ರ್ಯಾಕಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಹೊಸದು ಡಿ ಸಿ ಎಸ್ ರ್ಯಾಕ್ ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಿಚ್ ಆ ಸ್ವಿಚ್ ಎತ್ಕೊಬೋದು, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಎತ್ಕೊಬೋದು. ಏನೋ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಯಿತು. ಬರೀ ಸ್ವಿಚ್ ಎತ್ಕೊಬರೋ ಪವರ್ ಕೇಬಲ್ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಲ್ಯಾಬಲ್ಲಿ ಇದಿರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಸಿ ಪಿ ಯು ಅದು ಎತ್ಕೊಬ. ಇಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಯಾಮ್ರಾ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ, ಆಫ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ.
In my sessions, whether it is corporate or interacting with faculty or students, there are 3 rules. We'll all follow 3 rules, mandatory rules. All of you play games? Some of you play games? Chess also is a game, carrom board also is a game. Do you play games? Yes or no? Is there a game without a rule? Right? So where there are no rules, the fun is lost, right? So 3 rules you have to follow. The first rule, you will not call me sir. My parents have given me a nice name called Muthu Kumaraswamy. I know it's long. You can call me Muthu. And Muthu means pearl, no other meaning. Okay? No sir. I don't like being sir. Okay? I have a name. You can call me Muthu. Second rule, the only call that you can take is that of the nature's call. You can put your mobiles and all of them in silent mode. The third rule It is an interactive session and I want you to answer when I question. If you don't respond, I know I've been very good at singing. Somebody has even told me that Muthu, you can put people to sleep. I've done my job, I'll also sit down and sleep. If you don't respond to my questions, I will not proceed. You must interact. Understood? Yes, understood? Yes, sir. Backseaters, understood? Yes, sir. You don't follow instructions, you will not become good software engineers, good soft process engineers. You know why? Rule number 1. What is rule number 1? What is rule number 1? You cannot be calling me sir. What you should call me? If you call me sir again, and I'll stop. I'll say no point. You cannot process. You cannot follow rules. The rule is that you shouldn't call me by my name. You should only call by my name, not sir. Okay? See, I'm saying something, you're saying something. All of you, alert or not? See, that is how it should be. Loud and clear. Okay? It's okay. It's a session where you can be wrong. It's okay to be wrong. Okay? This is probably the only session where I'll appreciate you if you are wrong. Okay? These chairs are reserved for someone. I'll give you extra, you can pay me the money and come forward. Can you all come forward so that I don't have to put extra stress? Can we fill up the first few seats? Come forward. ಬನ್ರಿ ಮುಂದೆ ಬನ್ನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಹಾಡೆಲ್ಲ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರಿ. ಸರ್ ನೀವು ಕೂತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ತಗೋಬೇಡಿ, ಸಿಟ್ ಡೌನ್. ನಾಳೆ ನೀವು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತೀರಾ, ನಾಳೆ ಕೆಲ್ಸಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದಾಗ ಮುಂದೆ ಬನ್ನಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವರೇ ಬರಬೇಕು, ಕೆಲಸ ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವರೇ ಬರಬೇಕು. I'll quickly run through. Okay, given that as an introduction, today's topic will be on ethics in research and patenting in the era of artificial intelligence, very popularly known as AI. ಮಾತಿದ್ರೆ AI ಏನಂದ್ರೆ AI. ಏನೋ ಮಾಡ್ತೀಯ, ಏನೋ ಹೆಂಗೋ ಮಾಡ್ತೀಯ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸೆಮಿನಾರ್ಗೆ ಏನೋ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀಯ AI, ಅಸೈನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಹೆಂಗೋ ಮಾಡ್ತೀಯ AI, ಊಟ ಹೆಂಗೋ ಮಾಡ್ತೀಯ AI, ಸಂಸಾರ ಹೆಂಗೋ ನಡೆಸ್ತೀಯ AI. ಹಂಗಾಗಿದೆ. We'll see why and why it is not working. Okay. So namaste. ಒಂದ್ ಕಡೆ ನಾವು humans, ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ ಕಡೆ it's imperative that we have to work with other forms other than life forms which are created by us. Okay. They are our servants. They are going to be our productive tools, our tools to do things a little better, not to give ourselves to them. Okay. Okay. A quick run through about who I am, my background. Your faculty member introduced about me. Okay. My past is past. You can read about it on LinkedIn. What I am currently doing is I am a startup founder. Okay, I have 3 other startups. Apart from all of them will classify as deep techs. Okay, so we started in the year 2015, 16, 17. It was in what we call it as stealth mode. We hadn't even registered. It was just when I wanted to quit my job and start off my startup or entrepreneur journey. In 2018, we legally launched Pratibin. Since then, and we are not funded. We are not seeking funding. We are bootstrapped, if you know what bootstrap means, all while being bootstrapped, and we also offer services, and that's how we survive. Okay, and the founders are all from some of the top universities in India. You can name them: IIC, IIT, and one is the Bangalore-based university, Knowledge University. I am also an alumnus of Ramaya, MS Ramaya. The other founder also is from Ramaya. Okay, what does Prithvi do? An impact. We are a system thinkers and system engineers. We use that to create new products, new technologies, and new solutions. That also we offer as services. What domain? Muthu, what domain are you working in? So quite often any startup works or an industry works in a sector or a domain. We are sector agnostic and domain agnostic. Day in and day out, I touch on all of these technologies. Oh, you're not visible. Oh my God, you don't like stage. I have stage fear. None of you have stage fear? I have stage fear, then I'll stop talking. Okay. So these are the technologies that I touch day in and day out, and those are the industries and domains that we contribute as services and products. Prithvi is a startup but has an extended ecosystem. So we have an innovation partner. I am also on the board of an innovation consulting company by name Mantra. So where I consult large corporates like Fortune 500 companies to run their innovation program. We run their innovation program and deliver products, outcomes, right? So, and that is also an ecosystem where I get the idea labs where after the ideation and all of that, you need to implement ideas. So that is done through idea labs, which is run by Prithvi. We have a consortium of technology startups. No funding is given in this consortium. You need to be unique. You should have a USP, which is not a common base. Then we'll help you to bring it to market and involve within the ecosystem of the Prithvi extended ecosystem. These two other startups, that's how I am also part of these two other startups. One, this is Kamal, is in the automotive space working on driver assistance systems. It's an ADAS, most of you heard of ADAS, F0. Tattoo is a medical device using 3D printing and later emerging technology systems. So we had, these are all present and past, some of the university collaborations, and we also created a program to have our own workforce. So we realized that people who graduate out of college were not good enough to work with us, or people who are in industry also are not good enough to work with us. So still today, I think while coming one of your HODs is the one who accompanied me to your college, while discussing what is the size of your company? Any guess? How many people are working in my company or my startup? Any guess? To close this, only 4 of us. Okay, we thought technology company requires lot of people. No. We need people only when they need. Not people to just be crowded and running around. So internship also is a very tidy. I'll give you some references. People who did internship with us, you should ask. Okay, so it's a different story there. So we wanted to hire people, but we did not find them employable with us. So we also created a program, which is the 2-year program, which would have started with the as you are in your course. Start with your as soon as you enter your 4th semester and graduate with the project and also be ready. But eventually we realized all students we were talking about normalized behavior. Somehow we are all become normal. There are no special uniqueness within students. Everybody, even there were some 10 of them who still stuck on. They said, Muthu, we will try doing this thing. They continued to the last semester. Then the moment they started seeing their friends going for placement, they also started to become jittery. Muthu, we'll also go for placements. So everybody wants to go to job through placements. Okay? Nothing wrong, but understand times are changing. If you have to be unique, if you need to be relevant in the world, understand the world is changing. Be ready to change. Be a student all through your life. Okay, I understand majority of you are from IT and CS background. What tech stack is available today and you think you know it? Within 6 to 8 months, there is a new version or a new technology stack. Yes or no? How many of you heard of RAR, Angular? You're all, many of you are from computer science, right? Yes or no? Angular, you heard of Angular? You heard of React, JS, React Native. How many of you know React Native? It's the thing today people want. I mean, maybe it will also change in the next 2 months. So you need to keep upgrading yourself. Important. Okay, that's another meeting. So that's where, okay, so we have given up. So it was fully sponsored. It was run by my CTO. He said, Muthu, we have to do this. That's when we'll get people. We did it fully sponsored 2 years, and we just dropped it because it doesn't work. The students today are not up to it. We said it's okay. Their life, our life, let's look after. Okay. Okay. Like I said, those were ecosystem. We also catered as services. So ITTEL of Indian Institute of Science avails the services in converting research to commercialization. Technology transfer commercialization, they use us to translate their research to products. So we help them doing that. This VAST is another startup or a company from Germany. So they are our partners. So these are other clients with whom we work for various of our services, technology services. This is something that I want to start off with, a conflict of interest disclosure. The views expressed today in the session and in this presentation are my own and not intended to represent views or policies or practice of my organization or anybody else. My own personal opinion and my view. Okay? Okay. What is the preamble? Preamble. Abstract. Introduction. A preamble is a setting. You need to set on what are we trying to talk. Random introduction. Hey, I am DA. Sort of an informal or not an informal. It is a way to introduce the conversation you're going to have. Why is it important? What are we talking about? Okay. Today's conversation about legalism, research, patenting in the era, particularly in the era of artificial intelligence, bracket AI. Okay. It is a vast topic. Okay, it can go on for a month and we can go on deliberating on it. It's a multidiscipline and real life different issues. Each of AI is now touching on every aspect of our life, and each of them have a different issue. Right? I'm assuming most of us are going to become researchers, some of us are researchers. So with that, and most of us are also academicians because it's an educational institution. So I'm making it in context with these two as researchers and academicians. Need to have a student mindset and not assume that we have solutions or answers for all. So if you expect, oh, straight away say have no answers for all of you. Okay? We are learning. And be always in a learner's or a student mode. Even today, I learn new things. And I don't stop. The day when I stop learning, I may be physically alive, but mentally dead. You need to evolve. Okay? You must learn every day. Anything and everything. The whole world around us is changing. Yes or no? How many of you have called, I don't know, how many of you are in the main part of the Bangalore city? How many of you have shown an auto on the Kalidra, taxi in the Kalidra? Or how many of you have used Ola? I thought I will never use Ola in my life. Then Ola came. I don't want, why should you have my ID, everything on? Today, auto or taxi that I need to book, I do not know any other way than using Ola, Rapido, whatever you want to call it. What is happening? If I don't do that, I was forced to adapt to this technology. Probably I was the last during my generation to adopt to Ola and Rapido and Uber. I used to still catch auto. Auto siktirilla, taxi siktirilla. I don't have no sala. Sir, there are book money there, sir. You will be forced to adopt. Right? The world is changing. You must adopt to changes. How does change happen? Either you get pushed like how I was pushed, or you be the first early adopter. and learn to do things better. Okay. Next, I am not an expert, like I already disclaimer again, I'm not an expert in AI. Okay, don't expect answers for AI from me. Okay, probably you'll see most of my other colleagues and friends, they call me an anti-AI guy. Okay, I do not like AI. I'll tell you why. While it's good, it's also you need to tread with caution. You'll see what of it. Okay. It is a small story. I like to always start with a small story. It's a context again. Why us? Why are we talking? There are two young fishes. It could be any two of you swimming along. Let's assume whatever we are doing is swimming currents. They happen to be a older fish. I'm not old, okay? Just because I'm bald and gray hair, I'm not old. I'm a young boy. Maybe one of your deans and professors. I'm a young boy. I'm also. We meet one of them. Okay? When we bump into them, we don't greet teachers, right? Hey, let them greet me. So, fortunately, again, it's always the older person greets the younger students or younger. They are all young guys, young folks, dudes, bros, right? You're walking and he walks this. Good morning, boys. Okay. It's not just boys, girls also. Okay? That also, gender neutrality, all that will have to be careful. When I wrote this, I didn't think, but later on I see more of the other fairer sexes there. I have to be very careful. Okay? So, boys and girls, how's the water? That's what one of your professors and dean and all of them are asking us. We just nodded and we walked forward. After walking few more steps, what did he say? What does water mean? What the hell is water? This is the context that we are in. We are all living in a technology or some way. The water that we are talking about, is that what we are doing day in and day out? Yet we do not know. Without that, we will die. And how do we survive and what is it changing? Everything is assumed. There are days when we had nothing was given. Today everything is in your fingertips or your palm. Open your mobile, everything is there. How many of you have visited library? Is there a library? How many of you know there's a library in this college? How many of you have gone to the library, pulled out the book? Really? Today everything is in your fingertips. But when we were doing all these things, it was a different story. And yet, the quality of outcome and throughput, you don't even know what water is. I mean, not drinking water. It's a contextual conversation. Okay? I don't know if you got the fun of it. Okay? We are all living in this educational academics and still you know what academics is. That is the fact. Oh, that's about young guys like us and the old folks here. Okay? Okay. Quickly we should understand what is AI. How many of you know what is AI? AI is something that has started today. When did it start? Why did it start? Who started? Okay. Okay. This started almost 76 years or 77 years back. In 1950, there was this person called Turing. He said, if I know how the machine feels, can machine feel? Can machine have emotions? Can machine have emotions? Can your vehicle have emotions? Gadi start he'll get insulted. Why are you hitting and you'll start? Yes or no? I know, you will not know. We will know. Scooter. That's what the start. In 1950, he said, machines can emote emotions. We need to capture them. We can understand better and make them work better. And that is the first step that in 1950 Turing test started. He started to observe, can I understand the way machine is functioning? From there, they have come a long way. Today, it is the term called AI. AI will fail if it doesn't have data, will fail if you do not understand statistics. You know statistics? Do you know AI is an advanced statistic algorithm? How many of you know that? Do you know or you don't know? See, you don't know what AI is also, but we'll talk AI. Every alternative is AI. Okay? It is an over romanticized, overly hyped algorithm, statistic. It's a pattern matching. Right? Is AI pattern matching? Yes or no? You know your LLPs and NLPs. What do? If I am talking to you, how do you know what I'm saying and you respond back? Let's say you all come from Japan, or I've come from Japan. It's simpler. All of you taking to Japan and coming back is possible. I haven't gone to Japan. I'm come from Japan, and I can speak only Japanese. Can you understand? I'm talking pure technology subject. Can you understand me? Can you understand me? No. How many of you know Japanese? Today, yeah, you might know because you all watch that K-pop, K-drama, J-drama, I don't know what all dramas you talk. You don't know your language, but you know how to talk the other language. Good, but yeah. How many of you know Japanese here? No, right? Let me assume that I start talking in Japanese. It makes sense to us? But how will you know Japanese then? By talking. Words, you simulate, that sound means this. These are all pattern match. You create. That's how it's called NLP. What is NLP? How does it work? Repeatedly, you train those words and what it means and what it's supposed to. And the training, you make those nodes, connections, and you start thinking. It's the same way how our brain works. Okay? Our brain is also a supercomputer. That's why they say it's a supercomputer. Always. How many of you think? You all think? And what is thinking? Thinking is looking up. That is thinking. Process. What is it doing? Find an answer. How will you find an answer? Correct. Statistically, the brain will. Statistics is for us in the common world to figure out, but our mind also works in the same fashion. It processes data and see similar situation. What does it happen? A good story again. You know, Birbal or Tenali Rama. You know Tenali Rama? The king the court ministers wanted to somehow defeat this Tenali Rama because he is a very brilliant guy. Okay, so what did he do? I mean, these ministers said, "Sir, you have to give a fair game where all of us have the same capability, and we will show you how good we are." And the king said, "Okay, you only tell what it should be." He said, "You give all of us a cat, a healthy cat." What? Healthy cat. You give us 10 days. In 10 days time, you will see how good and much more healthy the cat should be. That is the show of our affection, how well we'll take care of this cat. The king also said it's a fair game. Nothing, no cheating can happen. Okay. After the 10th day, everybody bought a cat, which was like a fur ball. First thing put it in walk was like literally rolling out and coming. The king was very happy. And guess what this Tenali Rama came with? A cat which could barely even walk. He literally pulled it and got, see, this is the cat. The king got so furious. He said, everybody did this and do well, take care of the cat. Why couldn't you do? You have disrespected him. And you know what Tenali Rama said? What did he say? Sir, you give, oh my, okay, sir is something we say. Oh my highness, Maharaja, you given them all cats which can eat and loves to eat. You have given me a cat which doesn't drink milk, nothing, it doesn't want to eat. He said, what rubbish are you talking? So what did he do, you know? Any guess? Hot milk. First day he bought a hot bowl of milk and give it to the cat. Cats like milk? Yes or no? I don't know. Today cats like pizza, burger or beer, I do not know. Today also cats like milk? No, today drinking is the normal. If you don't drink, booming bara. Booming bara. So cats also might have evolved and confounded. They still like milk or beer. It's mostly for the youngsters like us. Does your cat drink milk or beer? Milk, right? Else I have to think about something. So the cats love milk. He gave a hot bowl of milk. The cat came running and tried to lap up the milk. What happens? Boiling milk, what happens? Spurts its stomach. Ran away. The same thing he did for 3 days. 4th day, still he bought a hot bowl of milk. The moment it saw the bowl of milk, it ran away. The 5th day onwards, he was bringing in normal milk. Do you think the cat will go and drink that milk? 10 days, it literally starved. Okay? So the king said, prove it to me. He said, please get a bowl of milk. Let's see if this cat drinks. The moment the king got the bowl of milk and kept, what happened? The cat ran away. Okay, this is the story. Okay, you're all aware? Interesting story. Statistics is not in play. Pattern matching and today's data science was the game. Tenali Rama created the thinking process. First, the cat always used to know white thing in a bowl is milk. I will drink, it's yum. He changed its thinking pattern. The response or the data itself, white thing you put, you will burn your tongue. White thing in a bowl you drink, you will burn your tongue. The data is altered. Your thinking is altered. Why only 3 days, 4 days? Sir, I don't know. Statistical says you should at least have 30 or 40 data. After training, you should, but they didn't. But our mind works different, right? Okay, it's because of population and data biases and all those things. Okay, that is statistics when we take the data outside. But in our mind, we build. This is called thinking. All of us are thinking. We are all having sensors. You thought only sensors are with vehicle and machines? No. You know we all have sensors. 5 sensors. This is the CPU. Touch. You are sensing always. Right? So that is what is about. So for the fact that it is not statistics inside but outside. Okay? It's all about data and an algorithm which can help us quickly create patterns and be able to discern and get information. Right? So yeah, like I said, in the context, in areas like we use AI technologies in academia and provided convenience to academics while bringing ethical debates. Now, what is this ethics? Now we are getting into a topic which is not so easy. AI, as far as we are not asking about who, what, everything, everybody is using AI. All of you use AI, yes or no? Popular ChatGPT, Gemini, what are the other things you using? Cloud, then Copilot. Each one of them have their personal preferences and they say, that's even more simpler. When we were introduced to using Google, we need to type, we should know what to question and type it on Google. Today my kids, they said, why you want to type? Give me the phone. I said, what are you going to do? There is this speak mode. Voice recognition mode. Oh, it's very convenient. Great job. When was the last time you wrote something on a paper that other people can understand? No, yeah, in college I think you'll have to write exams, right? It is handwritten, am I right? It's not a computer always. You write papers, handwritten take exams, okay, there, but once you are out of college, paper, pen will vanish from your accessories. You will have mobile phone, stylus, a phone with a stylus, Z fold, D fold, whatever fold, such a big, so phone becomes a tablet, you will do all this, gestures, typing, gone. Anything today, when was the last time you typed a query on a Google Chrome? Yesterday. You do? It's not bad. Some more humanness is there. What would you ideally do? Press that. Even I think Copilot and all of these also have voice queries. Yes or no? Gemini, all of them have voice queries, right? You see a picture, you don't even know how to describe it. Capture the photo, it will only say what you're trying to say. Your ability to describe also is gone. Congratulations, welcome to Zombie 1.0. Don't laugh. It's a serious concern. While we enjoy its convenience, do you understand our capability to describe is gone? I'll show you an image and ask you to describe. You will not be able to describe. It's scary. For me, it's scary because the guy who is doing it is making money, the guys who are promoting it is making money, and we are becoming nothing. We are losing our capability. While I might sound anti-AI, anti-technology, understand every technology comes with a, while it is a boom, it also is a curse. It is advantages, it has more than advantage. Do you know today we are all talking about global warming? Bangalore, in July, I'm sweating in Bangalore. You know, 20, 30, 40 years back, how Bangalore was. Why? What's happening? Thank you for technology. What technology? How many of you come to college by bike? You all come by bike? Yes or no? Or you come walking?
College bus.
College bus. Wonderful. Okay. College bus also is not any clean, right? But at least there are more people, less pollution. Individual bikes and bikes which are anything in excess of 450. No, you all have 125 cc, right? 60 cc is what you need within a city to drive. And all of you are having Duke, all that fancy names which are above 100 cc. Yes or no? That much of pollution. Technology, you will say, Muthu, you don't know the speed. And I go, you know, the girls, the way they look at me, I'm the next big hero. All that is fine, then let's all suffer. So technology brings advantage, it brings in some negativities or lot of challenges. We must be aware. And I'm not being a technologist and working in a startup, I shouldn't say otherwise, but be cautious and tread with caution. We could have prolonged our suffering or reduced the suffering and pushed it back further, but we all adopted convenience and now we are all suffering. We have not stopped adopting convenience for future suffering. Okay? Next, ethics. What do you mean by ethics? Let's talk about what is ethics. We will skip some of these things because in AI, all of us are using AI because I didn't want to teach, but because my professor wanted, I started to teach in 2 universities. You heard of Manipal? In Yelahanka, I teach one subject there, and there is another college or a university called Chanakya, which is beyond Devanagari. I teach in these 2 colleges because my professor said they had some connection. He said, Muthu, they wanted some faculty in this domain, go teach them. I started teaching. You know what is the worst part about teaching? I used to find it pleasure because it was always a learning experience. Teaching is a learning experience. When I teach, youngsters, when they question, like I said, I do not have answers for all. When you question, that means if I do not know, I will go try to know. Today, students, I'm not talking about you, you're all still awake. You ask them anything, I'll point someone and talk to them. When I'm pointing to you, they look at someone. And second part, give them an assignment, warn them saying that please do not use AI, go use Google search, give me references. Then also directly put it to AI. They don't even know how to hide that it's not an AI product. Like literally they'll submit their presentation. I'll call them and say, I told you no, so this is not AI, I've done. What is it prove? Forget, don't even have to ask them questions about what is that. They'll know nothing, they'll be zero. Open the presentation and show that it's an, it has an authorship. The presentations have authorship. Go check this out. I'm linking it, hopefully you will correct it. That means you will learn. ಕಳ್ತನ ಮಾಡೋದಲ್ಲೂ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಇದನ್ನು ಸಿಕ್ಕಾಕೋಬಾರ್ದು ಅಲ್ವಾ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ತೆಗೆದು ತೋರಿಸಿದ್ರೆ they look so sorry. If you want AI to become better, why are you paying so much of fee and coming and sitting there? That's what I asked. It is an ethical issue to say something that you did not do that you did in a very harsh word. to take claim of somebody else's kid. To say that kid is mine. You know what it means, right? No labor, outcome I will take the benefits. It is as unethical that you use an output of AI and claim it is yours. It's a very bad thing. Why? Because we will see. Start. Okay? You thought it's generative, it's helping you. Do you understand? Your knowledge, your IP, your ideas, you are giving it to someone for free. Few years back, or not even few years, I think last year or something, there is this person on Facebook who posted saying that you send your photo, I will create a caricature of some Japanese artist. What's his name? Huh? Ghibli's portrait. You put your photo, I'll give you it in the Ghibli's portrait, a drawing. Where people mindlessly putting in their photo. You know what was actually happening? The guy at the back end, he's a guy who's training a face recognition model. Data, we all say when Aadhaar government non personal detail hittigeಲ್ಲ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಊರೆಲ್ಲ ಹಚ್ಕೊಂಡ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ಹೋಗಿನ ಕಡೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ತಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಮುಖ ತೋರಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ. Literally, they have your persona completely built. You have given them at free a data which ideally you should have paid a lot for. You are also happy and you are all posting on the Facebook. My Ghibli's art, my portrait. Very proud. How smart are we? Smartness is shifting. Understand? Okay? So, Gen AI is also something that uses your own data to build on its knowledge. Or agents and may intensify ethical concern in scholarly articles. Most importantly, scholarly articles. What do you mean by scholarly articles? What is scholarly articles? Including AI and any new technological evolutions, both in technology and life sciences alike, or in psychology, have emerged from curiosity triggered queries and deep research and inquisitions. Today, that is all replaced by ready-made data, ready-made solutions. And our progress is limited. Our progress is just following around saying what we know. Right? So, especially in scholarly articles, it is supposed to give new insights. And what did I say? New insights. For new insights, you need to give new data. You remember the cat? Tenali Rama was a smart guy. He said, I'm changing the data set. The data set, previously the original cat's data set was bowl with white thing is milk. Yum yum, go lap it up. He said, I will change this data set. How many of us can change the data set? To change the data set, you must have pure research and scholarly articles, which is not influenced by past data and redundant research. This is of a higher concern.
Now, one question.
Yes.
Change the data. There is the realistic situation
Oh.
where we need to predict the reality or the which is going on in practice.
Thank you for that question, sir. When I said data in context of the cat, changing times require changing information. So all of you who are using ChatGPT, did you pay for your ChatGPT? No, right? It's a free version. Yes or no? The data sets are as old as 2022. ChatGPT 4 was the free version. All of us are using. Am I right? Any query you ask, in the last 4 years, we have, from 2022, we are 26. It's 4 years or 5 years, I don't know. I know mathematics. Should we open ChatGPT and ask how many years it has gone? Today we are 26, no? How many years has gone? Are you sure? Shall we check up with ChatGPT? We need to check with ChatGPT. That is the ultimate. Right? Data has kept on evolving, but you guys are using a data which is 4 to 5 years old. And ChatGPT is a smart fellow. So you ask something now, they extrapolate.
So you mean to say that it is not dynamic?
No. The free versions are not dynamic. If you want, I can prove you. I've attended a conference where we were talking about ethics along with my professor. Where the discussion, and there is one professor, or when I say professor, he's a doctor professor, he's an immense doctor. He's also doing his research. He comes and shows how bad this thing is. People believe, and you query something, it falsifying creates trends which are so much convenient to you. But in reality, take the data and plot, it just fools you. So if you are doing research with the outcome of a ChatGPT, understand that we are not doing research. So this is what I meant. Data replacement means just like that. You need to contextualize on what purpose you need a data, in what condition. And most of the data are all Western data. Another classical example, not many of you, I'm in the border case. So people, once you touch 35, 40, you're worried about. No, today even youngsters also have more number of people keep visiting this stress. So I'm going to depression. I'm coming out of depression. These are all things because we do not openly speak. Okay. Talk about BP, blood pressure. Blood pressure and diabetics. Okay, these are measures, right? Clinically proved, right? Yes or no? You need to go to a doctor or a diagnostic center. You need to pull out. Today, instruments are there. If you are above that number, you are diabetic. If you are below that number, you are okay. We are in the border, you are a border case. BP also same. Do you know BP and the diabetic number that we are using is not relevant to Indians? How many of you know this? It is with reference to Europeans and the Westerners. When I say Westerners, it's all the US. An average US guy, if he's sick, is an average number. Right? It looks like a Lilliput in front of him. I'm talking about average size. So guys, and this weight, and the way their food habits, everything impacts your blood pressure. What? Your sugar level. And what are we all given? Even though we do not have BP or blood sugar, with reference to them, we have already got and asked you to pop up with it. Once you pop up with, lifelong you are a slave. Hard truth, but real. You can prove me wrong, not with AI, but with data. I'll be happy to be correct. Done sufficient research on this. If you can prove with references, I will appreciate. Understood? So now you know why data changing is necessary. Relevant data to be taken as necessary. Okay, some of the recent times, what's happening in research, these are some cases that are happening. In 2021, China, 100 plus AI-generated papers were retracted. These were papers that were published or given to publications using AI. Identified and retracted. How many of you think I write a paper in the next 10 days, 15 days? That's a call for paper. In 10 days, I'll be able to finish the paper. How will you do that? AI. You don't know. My dear friend, Murli will tell you, Dr. Murli will tell you how you can do that. He'll give you a lot of tools to do. Right? Next, in Germany, there is a PhD thesis completely written out of AI. They almost awarded it. Then the court withdrew it and cancelled.
But sir, now university checking not only the plagiarism, as well as AI content,
Yes.
which has been derived from AI tools.
Right.
The tools are developed to identify and restrict to use AI content and
You're right. And interestingly, they say when you want to follow technology or developments, follow the thief. A law can be broken because the thief is 10 steps ahead. Today there are some tools which say humanize your AI content. In fact, I was interacting or helping a life science student write article. She did not use AI, but when they ran through, they said you have 30%, you have to reduce. I said, I am sure this is my own work I improve. No, the tool is saying it. Then she asked, how can I? There is the tool for humanize your content, use that. It is a suggestion given by people who are managing. So, okay, ethics, that's why we are talking about this stuff. So, still people find a way. There are people who do that.
but we still follow that. We need to rewrite. Right.
The best way, and that's why today we are having this conversation. Please avoid AI. On the contrary, my dear friend, Dr. Only will say use AI.
Sometimes when we it will consider as a
That is because it may classify as plagiarism because we think pulling out from a reference and placing it as such and not properly citing it will
That's one okay. Most idea in that way. But if we read that, sometimes
all my articles also show it's a AI content. So I am happy that that's inbuilt AI. AI is nothing but I said it's a pattern recognition, it's a learning process. It learns and it learns the way we write and it says that you're trying to emulate me. My learning before PhD and after PhD has changed. I've read many papers, how they write, I always start to write. Can that be classified as? Yeah. So using tools to detect this, that's why we're talking about ethics. This is a fast way to do it. You have to have a judicial, the discretion of the person who's reviewing it and understand who's capable. But when I had written my first paper and it was like super, I myself will not line, right? But when you evolve, even all your data searches are all linked. Knowingly or unknowingly, you have all said yes to Google. Many of you think Apple is a very safe, secure guy. All of us pay a lakh to buy an Apple. They are also seeing your data. You have said yes somewhere. Everything is being contextualized and taken as a data. Okay? So, how do I defend it? Yeah, it's a question. As much as you have, I do have. Like I said, this student whom I was trying to help, this person wrote, because I've been there too, it's showing 35 to 40% AI. I know it is not. Can't do much. Then, this is 600 students were flagged wrongly that AI did the scoring or did the correction. So, this is what is the other side. Academicians and faculty members using AI to ease our work. We say the donkey's work correction paper, let the AI do it. Were wrongly flagged and a court case was held and the whole tool was dismissed. It was in Australia. The US journals retraction from AI fake. This is data and in medical research, most of it is data and data matching, the data sciences. So some of these data are fabricated because they don't have sufficient data sets. Those were all giving false inferences. Later on, when they went back and looked through the data sets, they said that your research itself is null and void. They retracted. So these are all challenges with AI, which we think is making our lives easy, but it isn't. So you need to use it as a, we'll see what of it also. So global copyright suits, because I was asked to talk about IPRs, intellectual property rights. You know, there are multiple IPRs, starting from copyrights, trademarks, patents, formulas, secret formulas, family formulas, trade formulas, design patents, and patents. There are a variety of IPRs, intellectual properties.
So, one question. So, with the available data, we can create multiple data
Yes.
by using statistical tools or the simulation tools, where we can define the standard deviation and other things. So, almost they will be similar to the original.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what the industry is.
Exactly, that's what they do. Okay, using data to create more data. That is the, but this is done for training. That's okay, but you cannot use that to publish articles. The data is false. That's why we're talking about ethical concerns. It's ethically not true. It's not right, right? The data is not real.
We can treat them as a hypothetical data.
Hypothetical data to train, to understand.
Because there are, as far my knowledge goes, I worked on particles or optimization of them, where we consider there are 12 benchmark mathematical problems. So usually whatever the algorithm we develop, we used to test on that algorithm to tell that our algorithm was superior than that.
It might work, yeah. It might work with this data, but in reality, you're just testing your,
hypothetical.
yeah, right? So in copyrights and lawsuits, authors will sue over copyright infringements. What is a copyright? Music. You know, you listen to music. You all watch movies. None of you watch movies. Okay. Web series. Yes or no? Movies. All of them are copyrights. You cannot copy or download from YouTube and play the song. You cannot watch them on YouTube. You're a violation. Even my content is copyrighted. You can refer, but you cannot reproduce without my permission. So wherever you see this C is a copyright. It is to say I have put in some thinking, some gray matter has gone into picture. You can use it. It's in the public domain, but correctly acknowledge. Plagiarism comes from this. You copy or borrow some idea from somewhere. You do not acknowledge them but properly citing them. It's a problem. That accounts for plagiarism. If you are cited, you cannot call it as plagiarism. Right? So a lot of lawsuits have come because of AI, use of AI. Where does AI get data? There are a lot of novels in the open, right? Today you can write novel using AI. I was told today people use generating music, we call choreographed music with AI. Yes or no? How it works? You know, our original AI, even before using physical chipsets, you have heard of Anomaly, you have heard of AI Rahman. They have all infringed a lot of music. All tunes are not original. They have borrowed from the West or some tribal music, and they have, with some creative modifications, they have given an Indian tune. There are a lot of videos which talk about. You can see. Okay, so these are all issues, right? AI-based copyright issues. Okay, because of AI, it's also becoming cultural homogenization. Today, we have youngsters who believe in Captain America. What are the other things? Huh? Little louder, sorry. Thor, all that. In India, we have our own Indian Supermans, Superman. We have previously we had Shaktiman, right? Yes or no? He is a copy or upgraded version of Superman, right? He can do mantra, yantra, everything. But poor fellow Superman, he can only, because he's from a different planet. But for him also it was a stone which killed him, right? But our cultural beliefs, our cultural systems are being normalized, which is not okay. A Thor is not, actually, if you see in the Indian context, I will term this as a demon or monster, or that green monster, what do you call it? Hulk. According to me, he's a monster. He gets into play when he's angry. Anything that is angry and you play, we call them as a monster in our Indian context, right? It's not no. But you will not believe, you will not accept. Because how can you call Hulk a bad film? Our thinkings are influenced. Our culturally we are getting normalized. Our Indianness is going, we are all becoming Americans. Today, to wear a nama or a vibhuti or a bottu and come is uncivilized. It's not okay. What are you doing? How many people believe in this? Whatever of your own culture, I'm just giving some example. So all this is happening because of normalizing. So today, forget it. We don't want to watch our Indian dramas. The dramas, occasionally, when my wife sits and watches those Korean dramas all night, I'm disturbed and get and watch. They're even as bad as our cutie saas being whatever drama. They're the same drama. Only thing is they look nice. They're all made up. They look much more cuter than our saas people. That's all. They're looking so intently, they don't understand the language, they're trying to learn the language. And ask her, do you know our language? Can you read our language? They don't. Good? Think for this. Yeah, because AI, I will not. I can use AI for this. I can surely use AI for it, and I tell you it's AI. You see, even AI can talk about itself back. Very good AI, right? Oh. Right. I'd like to you to watch this video. Can you just play this? It is as old as 2 days back, a news article. Please play this. Or doesn't have a voice? Okay, you will see that this is a news report saying how researchers are now working towards understanding what AI is doing and what ethics challenges are there. Okay, it is because we will not believe an Indian telling this, right? If it's a research or a news article coming from a country other than India, they are going to be very true, they are authentic. So that's why I chose this particular thing, and this is as old as July 2026. You can see even the data for 25th. The news, and I've given you the link to the. Doesn't it? You have to up the volume.
Journal Societies surveyed and interviewed 676 people and found frequent AI use correlates with weaker critical thinking abilities, especially in younger users who also show higher attendance.
Neuroscience evidence has shown for many, many years that the most vulnerable.
We think
Yeah. Rodriguez.
but is it taking over? AI can write emails, plan trips, and even finish our sentences, but is it taking over the way we think?
Yeah. Rodriguez looks into research that describes what AI may be doing to our brains.
It's called cognitive output. The idea that the more people rely on technology to think for us, the less we exercise our own mental muscles. Adam Green with Georgetown University said the rise of AI isn't the first time humans have dealt with this. It goes back to the internet era in general.
We can look to the history of how humans adopt new technologies. When there's something that comes out that makes it so we don't have to think as much in general, we don't think as much. And I think GPS is a good example of that.
Now, scientists say AI may be doing something similar to critical thinking. A 2025 study in the journal Societies surveyed and interviewed 66 people and found frequent AI use correlated with weaker critical thinking abilities, especially AW users who also show higher dependence.
Neuroscience evidence has shown for many, many years that the most vulnerable brains are the young brain because your brain is still forming.
So what's the middle ground? Wayne says you don't have to completely ditch AI tools, but it is important to use your brain to operate in the creative space. And maybe just let AI do some of the grunt work.
It's a slippery slope, and you have to be careful because thought is right there ready to come up with ideas, and nobody loves the agony of the blank page. And so, AI is ready to save you. We need to recognize the value of that agony for developing our creativity and retaining our creative ability.
Ivan Rodriguez, report.
It's a news report on 25th July 2026. 3 days back. It's relevant. I don't know if you heard the keyword agony of next.
Explain trips and even finish our sentences, but is it taking over the way we think?
Yeah. Rodriguez, what's in
AI can write.
Okay. So the agony of doing things. So select few have the capability, let's acknowledge it takes some effort, and that is what creates uniqueness. Ability to think, critical things, especially for youngsters, do not kill it. I'll tell you why it is more important at the end of this. Right? Okay, so there are morals and ethics. Morals are what you are personally ground morals. Ethics are within a society we need to follow. Right? Today, morals and ethics are blurring and becoming more or less the same in today's world, where because your own personal preferences affect or you are dependent on the societal impacts, right? Okay, these are some of ethics matter with AI. Okay, analytical judge asked ChatGPT for advice on child medical rights. So is the judgment of that of the judge going through various cases and making a judicial thought, having a thought and making a recommendation, or using some random data which may not even have context? It is unethical, right? Next, creating a moral minefield, okay, capable of decision without human intervention, or how we navigate ethical issues. That is also using data and AI. Okay, ethics helps ensure AI development and use are guided in a socially responsible direction. While you have decided to use AI and develop AI tools, be sure the ethics are taken. Okay, it's an activity for all of us. Now that we understand what AI is and how it is used in research and academia, let us create a set of rules for scientists who are creating AI agents. I want at least 5. You have seen what is AI, I don't have to tell you what AI can do because you are much more knowledgeable about it than me. Now, having said it is an ethical issue and concerns, give us 5 rules. Can you give me 5 rules? I want each one of you to give 5 rules that we will write it down and give it to the AI developers to make sure this is ensured. Those rules have to be incorporated into development of AI. What are some rules? Some pointers, guidance? It could be across, even online, people who are online or at least give me 2. Now I'm lowering my stakes. No, that's not it.
The information generated by AI agent, let it be reliable and authentic. So that assurance should be there. Sometimes AI agent makes mistake, and when we correct the mistake in a very formal way, it appreciates us and it thanks us and it will say that, okay, yes, wonderful, you have got it, and then, okay, there you are in that way, and then it will be correct. Okay, that is there. Because sometimes, because certain things we know that it is like what we know that is correct, and then what AI is telling, like, we have proof for that. I'm just saying about such things, okay, which we don't know. AI is very useful in giving a lot of inputs, no doubt in that, and that will within fraction of seconds. In the beginning of your session, you said like how many of us visit the library. Before we used to go to library and then we started using Google search engine. Now we don't even like we go to Google search engine also it is taking us to AI tool. Therefore, like at least we used to spend a lot of time to check different websites to gather information from different.
So you think it is non-productive? I have a different take.
Not like that. It is productive, but sometimes it can lead us to a wrong direction as well. Therefore, that authenticity and genuineness. Let
So
it
you
be
want authenticity from AI?
AI. Yeah. Okay.
No. Vishwa. Next, some guidelines.
Sir, the research has to meet the sustainability development goals.
Sustainability development goals in AI. AI should develop in such a way that it should do SDG goals.
That part has to be met.
Okay. So in that way, we say AI can never promote innovation. But if you say it should promote innovation, okay. That's an innovation. Okay.
Sir, 1 minute. 1 minute.
Sir, right accountability. If AI made
Now,
mistake,
once you repeat.
who is going to take accountability for
Good.
AI made a mistake?
Good. Accountability is one of the very serious. Madam is talking about authenticity. I don't care about authenticity. Who is accountable for the outcome? Is one of the key directions and guidelines for AI development. Right? You will see. These are the ones. One more. Yes, sir. Okay, I'll go back. I'm waiting.
Sir, when I am using AI, lot of redundancy comes. Is it possible to reduce it?
Redundancy. Okay. We are worried about redundancy, but redundancy is good in some sense. Okay. It's like madam is telling, I will do all the garbage and after cooking and leaving the whole kitchen dirty, AI should clean it up. See, can you understand where are we heading? I am bound to make a mess. Clean it. Thank you. So SGD and AI are they don't. Okay, we will talk about that. Okay, you can say sustainable, but I don't know. Sustainable has two meaning. Sustainable is something that can sustain by itself. SDG is with that SDG coming in. When people talk about sustainability, I ask them, what do you mean by sustainability? Please be clear. Is it the SDG goals or being sustainable for you? Green computing is also nothing. You are saying that I will use renewable energy to anything we leave behind a trace. I only wish I can say yes. Anymore.
Yeah, so it is an acknowledged fact that accountability is missing in this whole AI stuff. So when that is a known fact, why are we not doing a curve saying that this is not nobody is accounting? So let's stop this. Bring accountability, then let's look at this as an industry. But right now, what is happening is the accounting is zero. Do not impose law on that. There are some people who are imposing law, but the damage that is happening is exorbitant.
When we are a culture of freebies. Everything is free. Everything that comes free, we are happy. We think everything that comes free there's nothing in this world that's free. Even knowledge isn't free. Do you know that? Don't say, oh, that means I'm paying. It's not free. To understand and to learn, you need to put effort. It doesn't just come like, how we say, plug in and say press and it uploads. Right? When we were young, we used to think, keep all the books underneath the pillow and sleep all night and it will upload. I only wish that is how we learned. Doesn't happen that way, right? Yes or no? Nothing in this world is free. So the moment when we say free, nothing stops, we are all used to it. How many of us, having said that, how many of us are consciously avoiding AI, use of AI? Good for you. You will thank yourself later on. Accountability, okay? Any other points?
More are there.
Yeah.
Instead of telling that it is unethical, why don't you avoid that? Not to use AI in research.
Sir, personal question. Do you?
That's the same thing I'm telling, sir.
No, I'm asking.
Smoking is dangerous. Stop selling cigarette.
Sir, if I stop selling cigarette, I will, liquor also, the biggest revenue for any state or government, these two things. What? I'm not spelling out when they are thrown out of college. Right? But their excise duty is high. They are trying. See, if I do that, there will be one fringe of people saying my right of freedom is taken away. My life, my right. Today we are talking rights. India is the free for everything. You can talk whatever you want and get away. And say, free India, my India, freedom of right, freedom of thought, expression, everything we will talk. Yes or no? The only thing you need to tell me, smoking is injurious, it will cause me cancer. If I smoke and I have cancer, what is your problem? I need to have cancer. Drinking and my neighbors go, my neighbor, is it your neighbor? There are guys like that also. And in India, you can't question them, My right, my life, my right. These are all things. And one more thing, this is morals, but if you talk in terms of economics, I'll tell you, if I cut away cigarettes and alcohol, there will be a lot of guys who are running out of business. They are not happy. Your IPL will stop, I think. You're okay with IPL stop? You are okay. Many of them will come and kill me if I say. IPL, he said, yes.
And one more question. Actually, there is a good news. Actually, I read an article a couple of days ago. It says that Gen Z is consuming less and less of alcohol.
Less and less of
Alcohol.
good news for you.
And going by, I saw an example in your slides, sir, where you said,
See, in economics, we talk about the substitution and okay. I hope it's not substitution. Alcohol is substituted by something else.
mobile.
There's a report on it also.
Mobile phones are substituted.
No. Mobile phone. Very less. Alcohol isn't giving me sufficient kick. There's something else.
You gave an example, sir, where you said a judge used the AI to assess whether the medical rights of the child are complete. So in that case, I think restraint has to be exercised when developing AI because the first AI should ask where exactly the data or the result which it gives is going to be used. Because based on that, it should guide the person who is prompting to tell what to do. For example, if I say, I'm going to pass a judgment based on a certain case. I'm going to apply the details of the case, and you have to give me what judgment should I pass. So in that case, the AI should guide the judge saying you can refer so and so sections, but don't give the judgment based on this sentence.
You are right. So you're asking the AI to become a human.
No,
You will see a case just a little later, again a case where you'll all respond to what is happening. Then you will see how AI works. But contextualizing. So this is where we say the judge didn't have the pre-notion or the thought that I can't blindly follow that. So you mean to say I should the same. Like Madam said, I'll make all the mess, let the AI clean the mess. That's what we want.
No, but
That's what we want. If you want, okay, we want. That's all. I'm also comforted because as an individual, I am impacted by this society. All of us want to die. I'll also have to die. There's no way, right? So that's how it's evolving. It might evolve. The reason we're having this discussion is that is it what we want? You mean to say that way? You mean to say mission to say don't use this? This is not. Then why do I need a judge?
I mean, at least it can stop generating the result. Because if it gives the result, he will anyhow use it.
So that is the thing. You may say we should not be. Okay, point.
For example, right now, if I try to generate some image with the help of, say, example, I want to see an image of Taran dance. It is not going to generate that image because it is going to say, Shah Rukh Khan is a public figure, so we can. Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
Half of internet is filled with filth using AI.
No, maybe there are some things, but the main thing
So
to
all of these are AI. So you will have me speaking something which I did not speak, okay, and it will. Yeah, I'm not sure on that. So it will pass through and say, okay.
But they are behind payment gateways. You have to pay for them. But free stuff is at least.
So he's willing to pay for it. Oh,
No, no, I'm not saying I'm willing to pay, but there are, I mean, if you want to generate such stuff, you need to pay. At least the free options right now are such that you can't generate the.
the day when we stop enjoying free, that's when we will all about. That's what I want. I'll tell you why also. Nothing is free. That's what I say. When you're saying free, your queries, your thoughts are feeding to the data there. Everything that you do you know your Google is mapping every movement, where you're going, what you're doing? Do you know that? And today they have started to give you out a report also. I'm shocked. Why should that guy know where am I going, how much of a time I'm spending? What business does he have to follow me? That's what the bill said. That is the story of the first two Ola rides were free. I enjoyed. After that, gone. Right.
In many accounts, we may have many solutions.
Yes.
But in many legal systems, particularly, generally these advocate lawyers, even judges, they are looking into areas very specific citations to give a very good judgment, so that it is a reasonable judgment for the society and for the individual. The interest of society and the interest of individual. They will give a judgment, but it depends on so many things. Getting citation is the biggest challenge, but with the AI and their tools and data mining stuff, I think it is a good process.
I will agree with that. It's easy for us to mine data and give relevant articles, but the decision should be yours. Having said that, legal entity, do you know IBM Watson? That was one of the first AI engines, IBM Watson. And it created multiple agents. One of the agents was IBM RAR. It is an attorney. It won a